Hi, Tori here. Welcome to Radiant Resilience. Today I'm going to be taking you through a short video that helps you set up for one of my very favorite restorative poses. It is one of my favorites because it really is good at opening up the chest and lengthening the back of the neck. Those are both areas that tend to get kind of short and tight when we don't have our best posture. And I don't know about you, but I spend way too much time in front of a screen or reaching forward driving my car, and I'm not always aware of what my posture is doing. So this area gets kind of short and tight and holds tension there. And then when your head is forward, the back of your neck gets tight as well. So I'm going to take you through this setup in three ways, depending on what you have on hand as far as props go. Okay, so the first one is going to be using two yoga blocks. And the way you're going to set this up is you'll have one block on its medium height going lengthwise along your spine. And then the second one goes on its highest height going crossways underneath your head. So when you're lying down on the medium block, you want it high up. So you want the bottom edge of it to be about where the bottom tips of your shoulder blades are. And then you'll take the block and place it under the other block and place it underneath your head. Now, what I see when I have people set up initially for this is they have the block that's under the head way far down towards their shoulders, and their head ends up being like this, where their chin is lifted a lot, but that's not lengthening out the back of the neck. So you want to slide the block away from the shoulders a little bit, and then actually with your hands, pull the back of your neck long, and then set it down on your block. Just like that. And then you open up the arms, have your palms up. That also opens up your shoulders. And you just get to hang out here. You can have your legs long, or you can have your feet bent. And if you're kind of having feet bent or long doesn't feel super good, you could place a pillow or something underneath your knees. Okay, that's option one. So maybe you don't have two blocks. If you have one block and a ball, this is my favorite way to set this up. So, there's a lot of different products you can buy out there. As soon as you place the word yoga or therapy in front of a ball, the price of it goes way up. This is just one of those kid toys that you can buy at, any of the big box stores. There are those light, really bouncy balls that are in those great big cages that you can buy. So these are two different ones. I just have them blown up to different levels of firmness. So if you get one, they're a couple of bucks. You can just use it's just a regular sport ball needle that you can let some of the air out of it. Okay, so I'm going to use the one that's a little bit more firm, but this one feels really good too. So what you'll do with this one is same thing. You want it kind of where the bottom edges of your shoulder blades, those bottom tips are, bring it underneath your back. And then you're going to take the block. So the ball isn't quite as high as the block was on option one. So I'm going to go to the medium height for the block this time. And again, you can just pull the back of the neck long and then set it down. So this one feels so good. This is how I usually set it up because it doesn't have the sharp edges that the block has. So it just feels a little more comfortable. It's almost like you're floating on a cloud. If you have two balls, you could do the same thing. You would just have the less inflated one underneath your back in that low shoulder blade area, and the firmer one underneath your head. This feels amazing as well. So that's option two. And then option three, maybe you don't have a block or balls handy. You can do this with a towel. So this is actually two towels that I rolled up, and you want it to be long. Now there are certain restorative poses where you take the the rolled blanket right up against your hips before you lay down. I'm actually, and that's a great way to do it if it feels good for you. I'm actually going to have it up a little higher because I want to focus more on my upper back. So again, you're going to lie down just like this. The great thing about the towels is you can use as many or as little as you want to get the right amount of height for your body, because you want this to be a stretch that doesn't feel too intense so that you can really relax into it. So as you notice, as I come into this, my the back of my neck isn't getting really stretched out because it's not any higher than my shoulders. So if you have enough space at the end of your rolled towel, you could roll that edge up or that end up to create that length right there. If you don't have enough towel at the end to do that, you can just take another towel, roll it up, and bring it under your head that way. But the whole key is to really feel the back of the neck go long as you set everything down. So this also feels really, really good. Super soft. You can fall asleep here. When you come into one of these poses, I recommend you hang out there for at least 3 to 5 minutes so that your body and all the connective tissue and everything has a chance to really soften into that passive stretch. After you come out of it, come off of the props, roll to your side, slide them to the side, and then return onto your back so that you can feel the effects of that stretch. You can feel the opening in the chest, the back of the neck's long, and as you lay down, you'll probably feel the surface of your body more connected to the floor. All right. That's it. It's pretty easy, but it feels oh so good, and I hope you give it a try. And thank you for spending a little bit of time with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.